insulin? I said, Doc, I still have not ever filled that prescription. I'm still carrying it around in my wallet. And she goes, well, your numbers are really good, and in fact, they're so good, I'm going to say this. Why don't we take you off of this every 90 days, and you come back in 6 months, and we'll take another look at you. I said, okay. That rolled around February 2012. I went back to the doctor. They had pulled my blood. I went back she asked me to come back in for a consultation, and she wanted to go over some things with me. And when I got back to the doctor's office, sat down, and she come in with a whole stack of my file, paperwork, and everything. And she's sitting there looking at them, and she said, Darrell, you know what? If I were looking at you today for the very first time, and I had never seen you as a patient, and this report was in front of me, your A1C is 5.5, your blood glucose is 110. That tells me, if I were looking at you today for the very first time, there is absolutely no diabetes whatsoever. But because I diagnosed you as a diabetic about 16, 18 months ago, today I'm going to have to say you're a diabetic without diabetes. And her follow-up words were this, Darrell, whatever you're doing, you need to tell everybody you come into contact with exactly what you're doing and how you did this, because it's incredible. So that was the game changer for me. I walked into the resort where I used to work, and a friend of mine, I had been showing every time that I would test my blood, I'd go back to the break room, do a blood test. The same time I was testing the product, and I'd show this to a friend of mine. I'd say, Jerry, check this out. Look what's going on. Last night I cheated. I had a piece of chocolate brownie, and my numbers were still good. And I'd call Anthony up, and I'd say, Anthony, my numbers, I had the brownie last night, and I still was testing a 110 this morning. Anthony would always go, but Darrell, what would it be today had you not had the brownie? Would you have been at that 97, 99? Probably, but I'm still in good shape at 110, and I still had the brownie. And so I'd get excited about that. But, we're all skeptics because, we test things and we say, well, I don't truly believe this is what's going on. I don't truly believe that it's the products that I think it's my exercise. And I'm not a huge exercise person, but I'd say, well, I'm still doing 100 crunchers, which I've done for years, in the mornings. And it's just a warm-up for me to start the day. And I'd think, well, it's just the exercise and the diet and all that, and it's not the products. I'd go off the products for a few days, watch my numbers climb back up, and I said, wow, this stuff really works. Well, I showed this friend of mine that same thing. I left the resort, and I walked back in there about a year later, and Jerry was in the break room, and he was in a wheelchair, rolled up under a table. And I looked at him, I said, Jerry, what did you do, fall down and break your leg? He said, no, Darrell. He rolled back, lifted the stump of a leg, and he said, Darrell, they amputated my leg because of complications due to diabetes. What most people don't realize today, 60% of all amputations in this country today are due to complications due to diabetes. It's a terrible, terrible disease. I just found out a friend of mine just up in Indiana just a few weeks ago died. He had a leg amputated, complications due to the diabetes, and then he had complications due to the amputation, and he died. That's you have an opportunity. If you're on this call tonight and you know somebody that's a diabetic, you need to reach out to them. You can literally, possibly save their life, save a limb, save a hand, an arm. They amputate people all the time over scratches that don't heal, over sores on their feet. An ingrowing toenail will cause a person that's diabetic to lose a foot. Doesn't have to be that way, folks. If you're on here and you're listening to me and you're under this call tonight, you need to reach out and touch somebody and say, you know what? You don't have to go down that road. I heard a man on the call this week, yesterday, a month ago, that you know what? His doctor said he is now a diabetic without diabetes. And that's where, you know what? It's because of the company and the products and the quality of products that they're bringing to the marketplace that's literally changing lives. You have an opportunity to change the health of a generation. you got a huge task, because I just heard on the radio last week on our public broadcast, unbelievable, we're at epidemic state for our children in this nation. 23% of them are obese and diabetic or pre-diabetic. They said it's literally going to cause millions and millions of dollars worth of medical bills for this generation of children that's coming up, and we steered them wrong. You know, they were told, do the do, drink the, you know, it's a Pepsi generation, or things go better with Coke, and all we're doing is killing those kids. The drugs that they put us on, for insulin, says right on the bottle, may cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, in some cases, death. There's a product I want to be on long term. How about the statin drugs that you put us on for our cholesterol? Same thing. May cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, in some cases, constipation, but liver cancer is a side effect of those drugs. So there's another drug I want to be on long term. Folks, we need to get people off of this stuff, because we're literally killing them with the drugs that we've put them on. And, you know, every product that we're using comes from the earth. It's all natural. It's all things that God gave us. And we have an opportunity to change some lives, and we need your help. Thank you very much.
Hey, Darrell, thank you very much. And let me ask you this now. Because you've used these products, there has been some side effects to these products. I know that you, first of all, never took metformin, but the doctor did make you take 2 prescription drugs. And because of the side effects to what you've done, tell everybody what you now are off of, and just share that with them.
Well, they had me on two blood pressure medicines, two different brands, one in the morning and one in the evening. And because of the product, the doctor finally said, Darrell, your blood pressure is getting so low, we're going to have to take you off the blood pressure medicine. I said, I don't have a problem with that. So, you know, they took me off the blood pressure medicine, and I still monitor my blood pressure in the mornings and the evenings, and it's still on no medication other than Xooma products. It's running 125 over 78. I mean, I'll take that any day at 62 years old. But one of the side effects that I have found is that my vision has so improved. And the eye doctor was really funny, Anthony, because here's what happened. When I went back, and my doctor kept saying, Darrell, you're diabetic. You have to have an eye exam once a year. Once a year, go to the doctor. I said, okay. So I finally made an eye doctor appointment. And it was the same eye doctor that had seen me the year before, because I wore glasses. When I went in, and he took my prescription, the first thing they do is to see what your prescription's reading. And he did it 3 times, and he said, something's not right here. And I said, what's that? He said, well, your prescription last year was 2.75, and your prescription this year is 1.5. Normally, what we see when we see that kind of improvement in a prescription, there's something going on, either a cataract or glaucoma onset, and we really need to do more tests to see how bad you are and to see at what point we're going to have to do surgery. I said, okay, well, do your tests. I need to know. They took all the pictures, did all the things that they were going to do, and about 15, 20 minutes later, the doctor came back in the room, and he brought his assistant, and they both sat down in the chair beside me. And they said, Mr. Bledsoe, we just want to ask you one question. I said, what's that? What in the world are you doing to improve your vision from 2.75 to 1.5 in 1 year, and your eyes to stay crystal clear? There's not one sign of anything going on in your eyes. And I said, all natural products from Xooma. He goes, man, that stuff is awesome. Anyway, that's one of the side effects. It's not cancer causing, you know, it's not any of that kind of stuff, but it's a good improvement. And my night vision, I could not drive for years without glasses because all the headlights haloed. I could not see. I would work at night. I would drive down the road, and I'd have to physically get out of the car, go up to the road sign to see what the name on the road sign was. I was that blind. And I drove all the way back from Indiana Monday night, never had my glasses on. In fact, I didn't have my glasses on for 3 days, and my eyes are crystal clear. My vision's crystal clear. I can do my Bible studies in the morning without even a pair of glasses, and I did have bifocals that were so strong it's just like magnifying glasses. And so, yeah, there are some good side effects to this one.
Well, Darrell, I appreciate you. And guys, I just want to say before I turn it over to Beth, there's still people may hear this testimony and say there's just no way that can happen. Well, guess what? It is. You heard it. You heard it straight from his mouth, and now you can share this with other people, because there's lots of diabetics out there, guys, that need to know what you just heard, what you now know. And so by you knowing better, you can now do better, and you can help other people do better. And, sometimes you may have to say to somebody, just trust me. Just trust me. What have you got to lose? These products got a 30-day money-back guarantee. And even if you're in your 60th day, they've still got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Because you know what? Maybe it not take 45 days for stuff to kick in. You've still got a guarantee to go with these products. So thank you all very much for letting us be on the call. And Beth and Dave, appreciate all you're doing. I'll turn it back to you.